Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM 2 News at noon. It is good to see you. I'm Laura Papetti. It is good to be outdoors if you love the heat, and that's where we find Jenny Power. Jenny, it is a warm day ahead. We have more on the way as well.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. Lots to track here at noon in the forecast. I'm out here in the Outdoor Weather Center, and temperatures are already climbing here. It is 83 degrees in the Spokane area. We're at 85 over in Coeur d'Alene, 90 degrees right now in Moses Lake, mid-80s for the Palouse, and out towards Sandpoint, Idaho, we are at 79 degrees. But temperatures will actually continue to climb as we move forward. The other thing that I'm tracking is this. Now the Storm Prediction Center has expanded the slight risk of seeing some isolated thunderstorms for this evening and into tomorrow to encompass the entire state of Washington, North Idaho, and we are seeing a marginal risk that is slightly higher down toward the lower Columbia Basin and the Richland area and into northern Oregon. So what you need to know is that this lighter green shaded color here that impacts Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, we're seeing about a 15 to 20% chance of these isolated storms, but they are going to be a concern as we move forward. So right now on our current satellite and radar, things are calm and clear. Plenty of sunshine, bright blue skies, but moving forward, what we're going to watch out for is this. Some fire weather watches have been in place since this morning to include the Cascades and much of central Washington. But now portions of this have been upgraded to a red flag warning, and the red flag warning shaded in pink will just be impacting Thursday from 1 a.m. to 11 a.m. So just the Thursday morning hours when we could see some of those storms ramping up. As we take a look at our relative humidity, it is already starting to drop. We are in the 30% range for the Spokane area. This will continue to drop into the teens later on. And not only that, but I'm also tracking some heat advisories further south into the lower Columbia Basin. The full details of this coming up in my extended forecast. Laura.
Jenny, appreciate the update. Today, we are getting a little bit clearer picture of the financial troubles the Spokane Library is currently facing. This is due to a $3 million budget shortfall. So without help, library officials say they will have to cut back hours and services before the end of the year. This could mean all library branches close on Sundays and Mondays. Parents say the library is so important to them and their families, while library officials say they need the money as soon as possible.
You want people to stay here for a while and raise a family here. Having access to stuff like this, I think, is really important. And like I said earlier, I think it would just be a big blow to the community.
Because we have limited funds at hand, we are going to need to make cuts sooner than 2027 in order to minimize the impact on the public.
The Spokane Public Library says the Central Library would receive the most cuts to its hours because it is the most expensive and the busiest branch to run. They say they would save the most money by closing it for 3 days a week. It is important to note this is a separate issue from the Spokane County Library District levy, which is on the August ballot. Today, for the first time, the Spokane City Council will begin meeting on Wednesdays. The council moved meetings from Mondays to Wednesdays, and this is really to try and improve community participation and then help avoid Monday holidays that we often see. At tonight's meeting, the council is expected to introduce an amended version of the Renter's Right to Cooling Ordinance. If passed, it would require landlords to provide cooling equipment in at least one room to maintain what it calls adequate cooling. By 2032, landlords would be required to provide cooling in each bedroom. Supporters say this would help lower heat-related deaths, while opponents argue it would impact affordable housing. In our next half hour, council member Paul Dillon shares more about the ordinance and how it could impact you. Starting today, ballots for the Spokane County August primary election are being mailed out. Ballot drop boxes open tomorrow. So keep in mind, mailed ballots must be postmarked by Election Day, which is coming up August 4th. All right, as part of our Boomtown series, Coeur d'Alene is moving forward with the Coeur Terre project, which would add more single-family and multifamily housing lots and some space for a new public park, school, and trails as well. The Coeur d'Alene Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously approved the Coeur Terre 2 proposal at a public hearing yesterday. This is despite some pretty strong opposition. More than 80 community members attended that meeting, and only one person spoke in favor of the proposal. Opponents say they are concerned the proposal would heavily increase traffic in that area and create safety and property value risks as well.